right now at 5. Suspect apprehended. A standoff in Herman, Missouri ends in the arrest of a man suspected of shooting 2 Herman police officers.
It's another cold start for us across the 4 states, but we're going to trend a little bit warmer today. We'll talk about some of those warmer temperatures and those rain chances we're still watching coming up.
And KOAM Shagun bomb delay takes us to the Columbus School District, where they're improving mental health services for the students.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Tanya Bach.
I'm Chris Warner. So it's another cold one out there for us as we start the day, but it is going to be a bit warmer, and we can't forget to wish everyone a happy Pie Day. So a quick look at our Pie Day weather. It's going to be pretty decent. You can't really bake a pie outside today, but not bad. Mostly clear skies, looking at a high of 50. We'll take a look at that full forecast here in just a moment. MoDOT camera, 7th and Garden Grove, looking back to the west. We're looking good so far. Same at 7th and Range Line. Not a bad day, but it is cold. 23, but it feels like 23. Winds are calm this morning, and we are cold, but take a look at the wind. Starting to shift around on us, coming out of the east here a little bit. 20 in Iola, 22 Pittsburgh, 27 in Miami, 25 Neosho, and 23 in Carthage as we get our day started. But again, at least the winds are relatively calm. Here's what's going to happen through the morning. We're going to see more sunshine through the morning and through our day, so that will allow us to warm a little bit quicker than what we managed to do yesterday, as we'll be clear to mostly clear, making it to the mid-30s by 11. Now, we're still below average, but we're a pinch warmer. And as we head into the afternoon, we're looking to be, again, below average, but better off than we were yesterday, to the tune of anywhere from 8 to 10 degrees warmer. So we're looking at highs right around 50, give or take a degree or two on either side, and we'll have a plentiful sunshine out there, so an absolutely beautiful day for us. Just wish we could get those temperatures up to average, because our average is close to 60 this time of year. Tonight, our low about right on par where it should be. As we drop back down to 35, we'll have clear skies heading into the evening. Once the sun sets, it'll start to cool off a little quicker, down to 38 by 10. And as we look ahead, we're still keeping an eye on some showers and thunderstorms as we head into our Thursday. So we go through today, again below average, cold, not too great, but could be worse. We head into tomorrow. We're going to start to see a few more clouds as we head into the afternoon and evening hours on our Wednesday. We're also going to start to trend a little bit warmer across the area ahead of this cold front on Thursday. And so we actually don't do a lot of cooling tomorrow night as things start to change ahead of that cold front. So you can see roughly where it's starting to come in into northwest Kansas. We could see a stray shower or two tomorrow morning, but the bulk of the activity is going to move in as we head into the afternoon hours, say between noon and 1 o'clock. That cold front will start to set off showers and thunderstorms across the area. There is a threat of some strong to severe storms, but right now it is confined to our south, across portions of Oklahoma and into western Arkansas. Should that change, we'll let you know, but right now the stronger activity should stay to our south. We'll just see some general thunderstorms and some showers across the area. Now, as we again head into the evening and overnight hours, as this cold front makes its way through the area, you can see there's still that possibility of a brief changeover to a wintry mix, maybe some light flurries out there. Shouldn't add up to much, shouldn't really add up to anything, but that possibility does briefly exist, and unfortunately, it makes us cold yet again. So today, again, 50, 60 tomorrow, breezy, clouds picking up, 58 Thursday, those storms, then back to cold weather Friday for St. Patrick's Day, 41, 38 Saturday, first day of spring, only 42, almost 20 degrees off the norm, and then we'll make it back up to 49 by Monday at least with partly cloudy skies. Tanya?
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, standoff in central Missouri ends with the arrest of a man suspected of shooting 2 police officers. The standoff that began Sunday night ended around 1:30 Monday afternoon in the mid-Missouri town of Herman. Authorities say the suspect, 35-year-old Kenneth Lee Simpson of Eureka, Missouri, had barricaded himself in a home. According to those on the scene, SWAT officers administered tear gas before Simpson walked out of the home with his hands up and was arrested. The shooting happened Sunday night. It began at a Casey's General Store in Herman. Police were called there to investigate a disturbance. Authorities believe Simpson shot both officers and then fled in a car. 34-year-old Detective Sergeant Mason Griffith died from his injuries overnight. 31-year-old Officer Adam Solentrup remains in critical but stable condition. Court records show Simpson has a long criminal history dating back to 2004 with several current pending cases. He's been on the run from authorities since April of last year. City of Girard, Kansas looks for a sanitation service for the city. The city council met last night to work on a resolution that would allow them to look into contracting a service to work for the city. Now, right now, residents can pay for private trash services, but the city does not offer its own. The council will host an open forum about the resolution on the 27th. And a Southeast Kansas school is improving its mental and medical health services offered to students. KOAM Shagun Bamadale has more.
The Columbus School District has teamed up with the Community Health Center of Southeast Kansas to bring medical and behavioral health services to students in their schools.
Sure, Community Health Center has a legacy of putting school health first, and especially with school health, both as school nurses, providing school nurses for our school districts, and also providing clinics within the school district. And so that legacy continues.
It is now being implemented in Columbus and Baxter Springs schools. The program will help keep children in school.
A lot of our students, they don't have access to health care many times because it's difficult for their parents to get off work. If their parents take off work, they don't get paid, and so maybe they don't take their child to the doctor. But with our program here, the parents can actually grant permission for the student to see a doctor here at the school.
The healthcare services is not only restricted to students.
Healthcare service is also offered to the staff in the school. And as you know how shorthanded schools are in our workforce, it allows them to stay and receive medical supports at work.
The school district says students will not be financially responsible for any medical services they get, although they will charge their insurance if they have one. Reporting in Pittsburgh, Shagun Bamdele, KOAM News.
Starting this fall, the Community Health Center will have 10 medical clinics in schools in Southeast Kansas and Oklahoma. Well, today is National Pie Day. 314 and the Joplin Humane Society wanted to take part, so they teamed up with Papa Murphy's for a special promotion. Starting today and going through Sunday, all big dogs and adult cats will have a $14 adoption fee. Also, adopting one of the first 50 pets through this promotion will get you a free pizza from Papa Murphy's. That's not the only promotion they have.
To kick things up just a little bit more and have a little bit more fun with things, we're doing a donation drive for dog food. So on the 14th, if you bring in dog food or monetary donations to help purchase dog food, you'll receive a slice of homemade apple pie. All
right. Well, the dog food drive will be from 1 to 5 p.m. today. That's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, the Lady Lions have a chance to take home a national basketball title if they can make it past #1 seed Minnesota Duluth. Chris has the details from the Division II National Tournament matchup. Plus, for many sports fans, the rise of mobile sports betting has added an exciting new dimension to cheering for their favorite teams. And here's a story you might not want to sit down for. Experts say just a few quick strolls a day can help prevent the dangers brought on by too much sitting. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. More real news in the morning. We'll be right back.
Well, the Missouri Southern women's basketball team is still alive in the Division II National Tournament. The Lions are in Minnesota playing for a regional championship for the first time since 1994. Amber Jenkins catches up with fans gathering in Joplin to cheer the Lions on in the Sweet 16.
The Lions Den is full of excitement as alumni, students, and the elite gathered to watch the Lions battle it out in the NCAA regionals.
I mean, I wouldn't say that we're surprised just because I know that we've got a great team. The coaches are amazing. The girls are all so supportive of each other, like a fantastic team just to be a part of. And I think that that's carried them through a long way.
This is MSSU's third appearance in the NCAA Regional Championship. Now, their last appearance was almost 30 years ago.
Been here for 4 years. I've gotten to see them grow and get to know a lot of the girls, and they're all amazing.
I didn't start supporting MSSU till I got here, but I mean, I've been their biggest fan since I've started, yeah.
This is the second watch party the university is hosting. The game is better with friends and outside the dormitory.
If it wasn't for the watch party, I'd probably just watch it at my house all by myself. So I love that they bring us out here. They got like free food and stuff, so it's pretty awesome. I went to the last watch party too, and it was a blast. It was so exciting in here.
Whatever the final score ends up being, MSSU is eager to parade its Lions around.
No matter what, we're just proud of those young ladies and what they do for Missouri Southern and our community.
Reporting in Joplin, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
Now to the actual basketball game. Missouri Southern faces off against Central Region host and number 1 seed in the bracket, Minnesota Duluth. The winner moves on to the Elite Eight in St. Joe. Now, first quarter, Lane Skiles open for 3. She knocks it down. 12 points for Skiles on the night. Chrislyn Jones also a big game. 3 of her own. Jones scores 18. Then it's Lacey Stokes. There's the deep ball. Southern jumps out to an 18-point lead at halftime. Fourth quarter, more from Stokes, spins and connects in the lane. 22 points, 10 rebounds for Stokes. Lions up 14 with 6.5 to play. Another 30 seconds. Lead down to just 2. Ella Gilberston. Clutch 3 for Duluth to put them up by 1. Lions still have a chance though. Jones drives. It's off. Maya Johns gets a shot at the putback and also bounces away. And that's it. Duluth comes back and beats Missouri Southern 77-76. The Lions finish the season with a 29-7 overall record. Well, the Carl Junction girls are back in the Final Four in the Missouri Class 5 state bracket. Carl Junction will play Friday night in the state semifinals, facing the Notre Dame Bulldogs out of Cape Girardeau. Carl Junction has won 24 straight games heading into Friday. These two teams both finished the regular season ranked in the top 10 in the state. Carl Junction, number 1, Notre Dame, number 8. So it's no doubt 2 of the best in the state, with only 1 moving on to the Class 5 title.
Traditionally rich basketball team and program. They just do a lot of nice things. They're on a roll right now, and so are we. So it'll be a battle, and we'll have to play well. We're going to have to make sure we rebound and end possessions early.
It is just so exciting to finally be getting to play in this game. And this has been our goal the entire season. Since last year didn't end the way we wanted it to. This year, that has just inspired us to work hard every single day, and just to be here is just an amazing feeling.
Missouri Southern pitcher Cole Woods has been named the MIAA Baseball Pitcher of the Week. Woods had a great night on the mound Friday in Game 1 of the Lions' 3-game series against Central Oklahoma. Woods actually took a no-hitter into the 9th inning Friday night against the 5th-ranked Broncos. He finished the game throwing 8 complete innings, allowing just 1 hit and striking out 9. Southern won the game 5-4. Woods is 4-1 in 6 starts this season and is 5th in the MIAA with 39 strikeouts. Local college softball, Pitt State plays a doubleheader against Lincoln, aiming for their first conference win of the spring. Game 1, Gorillas roll 12-3. Kylie Bowl goes 2 for 4 with a grand slam. Keela Griffith 3 for 3 on the day with a double and a pair of RBIs. In Game 2, Pitt State tries for the sweep, and they do it with a shutout 8-0. Hannah Harrison throws 5 shutout innings, allowing just 2 hits. Paxton Hayes goes 2 for 3 with a double, a homer, and 5 RBIs. Well, still to come, archaeologists uncover the remains of a Roman aristocrat they believe might be more than 1,000 years old. Plus, we got another check of that chilly-type forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on this Pie Day, and today's a great day for pie because you're going to want something warm. It's still chilly. We got a cold start. MoDOT camera, 7th and Garden Grove. It is cold outside, but we are clear at least. 23 calm winds out there, so not bad. No wind chills to worry about right now, but just cold air. 21 Fort Scott, 20 Iola, 27 Chetopa, Miami, and 25 in Neosho. And as we get our day started, the good news is more sunshine today. We're looking to be clear to mostly clear throughout the morning, up to 35 35 by 11 a.m., so a little better than we did yesterday. Highs much better than we did yesterday, hitting right around 50, give or take a degree or two, under those mostly clear skies. As we head into our evening, looking pretty good as well, down to 35, so right about average under clear skies. We look ahead, we start to do a little more warming tomorrow. We make it up to 60, 58 Thursday with those thunderstorm chances. Powerful cold front kicks us in the pants, knocks our temperatures back down. 41 St. Patty's Day, sunny skies through the weekend. First day of spring, only 42 degrees. And bear in mind, the average is close to 60. Well, hockey fans in Boston are in luck. Now, some of them can place their bets while watching the game. Julianne Lima has more.
Alex and Alan Kondrativ may not agree on a team. I'm a longtime Bruins fan. He's from Detroit. But they do agree on one thing. I love stakes for a game. So if there's a bet going on, then I like it.
It's more fun when you have something on the line, even if it's friendly.
For the first time ever this weekend, Bruins fans could bet on the game using their cell phone while watching it live right here at the TD Garden.
I think it just adds that extra dimension of, like, you're participating. You're making predictions, guesses of what's coming next.
DraftKings North America president and co-founder Matt Kalish says mobile sports betting is off to a spectacular start, with wagers that range from pennies to millions.
People make bets as low as 10 cents, so it's not like it costs a lot of money to try it. And it makes the games a lot more interesting.
The Boston-based company has been in business for a decade and can now operate a sportsbook in their home state.
I don't think anybody will understand the Massachusetts consumer better than us.
So far, 6 sports betting apps are live and active in Massachusetts. 3 more are expected to launch in the next year, and people are ready to get in on the action.
I think it brings like a little extra to the game. Even if you're not like rooting for the guys, you're kind of rooting for them because they could win you some cash.
Hey, if I could win money, we already have a bet going on lobster rolls for the game. So if the Bruins win, he owes us lobster rolls. So if I could make more money on the Bruins winning today, then yeah, I would definitely do it.
If you're a fan of sports betting right here in the 4 states, you should know that Kansas and Arkansas allow sports betting, but Missouri and Oklahoma do not. And that brings us to our question for you this morning. Do you like to gamble? Yes or no? You can vote on our website at KOAMnewsnow.com/vote. You can also vote in the KOAM News Now app and take part in the discussion on our Facebook page. We'll be back with Health Watch right after this break.
Air, plumbing, and electric.
Topping Health Watch this morning, a government watchdog says the crash dummies used for testing need to be more diverse. The Government Accountability Office shared in a new report the problems they found with the dummies used in the Department of Transportation's testing. They say the replicas do not adequately represent all demographics, including women and older individuals. The issues include the lack of some physiological differences between men and women on the models. They also do not have sensors to collect data in the lower legs, and they only represent a limited range of body sizes. Because of this, the GAO says regulators have blind spots about how different body shapes and sizes are impacted in crashes. Well, this is Sleep Awareness Week, and if you're scheduled to get a vaccine for COVID-19, the flu, or anything else, sleep could be critical to the effectiveness of the shot. And that's the takeaway from a new study that found not getting enough sleep may decrease a vaccine's impact, especially for men. Researchers found sleeping less than 6 hours the night before getting the shot may limit the body's response to the vaccine. That would result in reduced protection against the virus or bacteria. According to the authors, good sleep not only amplifies, but may also extend the duration of protection of the vaccine. If part of your plan for the spring has been to get up and get moving a little more, listen up. A new study suggests a simple prescription for those of us who sit for long periods during the day. Jared Hill has more.
On the path to a healthier life.
So how hard does this exercise feel for you?
New research shows some quick strolls throughout the day can go a long way. Scientists have known for years that spending too much time sitting can increase the risk for heart disease, diabetes, even some forms of cancer.
More cognitive tests?
But Dr. Keith Diaz at Columbia University Irving Medical Center says his new research is revealing a simple solution.
We found a 5-minute light walk every half hour offset many of the harms from sitting.
The study adds to growing evidence that breaking up prolonged sitting is necessary, even if someone exercises on a daily basis.
Why did you decide to even get involved with this study?
Because I had a major change of life. I retired.
Stephen Solomon says without the daily commute to the office or the activities after work, he found himself just sitting around a lot more.
So I have to kind of self-manage this, but in order to do this, you need to know what's helpful.
Researchers say you don't need to do anything too rigorous. Just a slow walk like that can make a surprising difference.
Taking a walking break every half hour and walking for 5 minutes reduced the blood sugar spike by 60%. Those are levels that are similar to what you'd see if someone were using insulin injections or diabetic medications to control blood sugar.
But the team recognizes that may not work for everyone, which is where their current research comes in.
I think the goal is for people to say, okay, based off of my lifestyle, based off of the work that I do, this is a strategy that I need to use.
Not a magic pill, but maybe a more helpful prescription to put many of us back on the right track. Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
Researchers stress this should not be thought of as a replacement for regular exercise. And that's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
And we want to take time to wish everyone a happy Pi Day because today is 3/14 and we're looking at a below average but warmer day for us. We mostly clear today, highs right around 50 degrees. However, it is a cold start. MoDOT camera 7th and Garden Grove looking back to the west. Looks all right, but it doesn't tell you that it's cold. But this one does. We got 23 degrees in Joplin. Calm winds though, clear skies, so there's no wind chill to worry about. But boy, it is cold out there. 20 in Fort Scott and Iola, 28 in Neodesha Shea Parsons, 27 Chitopa, Miami, 25 Neosho, 22 in Carthage. As we get our morning started, we'll have plentiful sunshine. We'll be clear to mostly clear, a few passing clouds possible, but that will allow us to warm into the mid-30s, whereas yesterday we were barely making 30 by late morning. And as mentioned, we're looking at highs right around 50 degrees today with plentiful sunshine out there. So if it was just a few degrees warmer, it'd be a perfect spring day. We'll have more on your forecast and some rain chances and another cool down when the KOAM Morning News returns.
Right now at 5:30, the Webb City School District hosts its 19th annual Honors Banquet and uses the opportunity to recognize one of the city's finest.
Got a cold start to us for us again today. It will be a little bit warmer. We'll talk about those warmer temperatures and rain chances coming up.
And one educational service center in Girard, Kansas lends a helping hand to parents during spring break this year.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's now 5:32. I'm Tanya Bach.
I'm Chris Warner. So another cold one for us across the 4 states today. Well below average, and our highs again today below average, but they're going to trend better, at least for a couple of days before they go right back to this bitter cold. MoDOT camera 7th and Garden Grove looking back to the west. Looks good so far. 7th and Rangeline looking good as well, but it is cold. We're sitting at 23 in Joplin right now, but a calm breeze means no wind chill like we had to deal with yesterday. Same situation across the area. Bitterly cold. 20 Fort Scott, Iola, 22 Pittsburgh, 27 Chitopa, Miami, 25 Neosho, and 22 in Carthage and Lamar. Now, as we get our day started, one of the key differences today is we'll have more sunshine than what we did yesterday. We're expected to be clear to mostly clear, so maybe a passing cloud or two, but that extra sunshine allows us to warm up a little quicker. It's still cold, but we're going to make it to the mid-30s by late morning instead of where we were yesterday, just teetering around the upper 20s. Now, our high today is about 50 degrees. It still puts us almost 10 degrees below average, but it does put us almost 10 degrees warmer than what we made yesterday, and we'll have mostly clear skies and calm winds. So if we could get those temperatures up just a little bit, boy, it'd be a beautiful, perfect day out there. As we head into this evening, same situation. We're going to stay clear. Once the sun sets, temperatures begin to drop a little quicker, down to 38 by 10, and we're looking at a low of about 35 degrees, and that is about average for this time of year. Like I said, it's just those high temperatures that just don't want to cooperate with us. So we've got the mostly clear skies as we go through our Tuesday. As we head into Wednesday, we're going to start mostly clear, and then we're going to start to see increasing clouds, but we'll also see some increasing temperatures out there. And as we go into Thursday morning, a stray shower or two possible in the morning, but a powerful cold front's going to roll through later in the day, and that'll give us better chances of more organized showers and thunderstorms as we head into the afternoon hours, say between noon and 1, really seeing that get going. There's a threat for some strong to severe thunderstorms, but at this point it is remaining to our south. Should that change, we'll let you know. But again, it's going to be confined south of us. We'll just see some thunderstorms. Now, as we head into the evening, as temperatures drop, depending on how quickly things drop, we could see a brief transition to maybe some light snow out there, but that shouldn't really add up to much of anything. But just be aware it could possibly happen. We're up to 60 tomorrow, so almost right at average. 58 Thursday with those thunderstorms. A cold front kicks us down to 26 for the low, 41 St. Patty's Day. But otherwise, sunny skies heading into the weekend. First day of spring, though, 42 degrees, about 20 degrees off pace for average. And we'll make it up to 49 by next Monday under partly cloudy skies. Tanya?
Cold nights. Well, Webb City School District hands out some awards on Monday. The district's foundation hosted its 19th annual honors banquet, and one of those honors was the Distinguished Citizen Award. It went to Shane Newby, a Webb City native who graduated from Webb City High School in 1988. Shane went on to serve in the Navy and has remained an active member of the community.
Well, I think oftentimes you have silent people that do a whole lot to help lift up and support your community, and this is just an opportunity for us to recognize them publicly and to say thank you for everything that they've done for us. And what better opportunity than have a meal, spend time together, have fellowship, talk about, reminisce. It's just a great experience to be able to lift them up and support them and really say thank you for what they've done.
Webb City Schools Foundation was created in 2004 to be the philanthropic arm of the district. Greenbush Educational Service Center in Girard, Kansas is helping parents this spring break. They offer day camps to help keep kids stay engaged in educational activities. And this week they're traveling around the world, from making homemade pizzas to building Lego bridges. These students are visiting different countries while staying in the classroom.
I just think it's a really great opportunity for parents to bring their kiddos out here, just to have different programming. Kids aren't staying at home, they're not on their TV, they're not on their tablet, they're not on whatever, or at home saying, I'm bored, what can we do? They're here doing hands-on engaging activities. That's a lot of fun.
Greenbush had to make 2 classes for their K through 2 grades due to high demand. The Joplin Humane Society is getting into the Easter spirit. They're hosting the annual treat stuffed Easter egg hunt event for local residents. Humane Society sells eggs stuffed with treats for pets and kids within a 10-mile radius of the shelter. It's available on Easter weekend, and residents can choose whether they want to be egged on either April 7th or the 8th.
It's really a great opportunity for us to do something fun within the community while supporting the shelter financially and helping take care of the thousands of animals we care for each year.
You can pay to have your eggs delivered to your house. 100% of the proceeds will go for the care of the homeless animals at the shelter. And you can find pricing on different egg amounts on our KOAM News Now app. Well, this morning we're discussing gambling and, in this case, sports betting.
While online sports betting has been around since the 90s, mobile sports betting is a 21st century phenomenon, and it has exploded in popularity thanks in part to established websites like DraftKings. But despite its popularity, not all states allow sports betting.
Now, right here in the 4 states, for example, Arkansas has allowed sports betting since 2021. And in Kansas, sports betting became legal less than a year ago.
Now,
Missouri and Oklahoma, on the other hand, are still pushing efforts to legalize sports betting in their respective states.
Because of the legal lines drawn from state to state, we're asking a more general question. Do you like to gamble? Yes or no? So far, 63% of you say you do not. 37% of you say that you do. I will play scratcher tickets from time to time, but that's really about as far as that goes. I don't really win much anyway. But at least I'm donating back to the Department of Education.
There you go. I seem to only play when the odds are really, really bad. That's because it has a big pot.
That's like all the time.
I know. Yeah, true. All right, that's a look at our top news stories. Coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News, it's a totally different competition, and one that can be extra woolly at times and certainly a cut above and done out of sheer love.
Plus, China opens its doors once again to foreign visitors after 3 years of strict COVID suspensions. We'll have the latest.
You're watching the KOAM Morning News. More real news in the morning. We'll be right back. Topping World Watch, China will resume letting foreign tourists visit the country for the first time in 3 years. The country's foreign ministry says China's borders will reopen to those with valid visas beginning on Wednesday, and that multi-year visas issued before March of 28, 2020 will be reactivated as long as they had not expired. China had been limiting issuance of visas to business and family visits as part of its measure to contain the spread of COVID-19. Under the updated policy, visa-free travel will also resume for certain tourist groups. Russia and the United Nations have agreed a 60-day extension of the Ukraine grain deal after negotiations in Geneva, Russian state news agency RIA reported on Monday. The diplomat added Moscow had agreed to extend the current grain deal, which lasts until March 18th, for an additional 60 days. There are reports that the International Criminal Court is set to bring the first war crimes charges linked to Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Both sides, meanwhile, are taking heavy losses in the fight for the city of Bakhmut, one of several battles that Ukraine's president suggested could determine his country's future. Imtiaz Tiab has the latest.
Ukrainian forces are fighting with all their might as Russian soldiers and mercenaries try to close in on Bakhmut. But CBS News has learned they haven't gained any new ground in the eastern city within the last 24 hours, with Ukraine claiming to have killed more than 1,100 Russians in the past few days alone. As Kyiv continues to send in reinforcements, the remains of Ukrainian soldiers are seen still lying where they were killed. Across Ukraine, cemeteries are now full of fluttering flags, the iconic blue and yellow, a symbol of national pride, and now sacrifice. It's hard to know how many Ukrainian soldiers have been killed in this war. The government just won't say. But in Bakhmut, it's estimated hundreds are killed or injured every day. In the heart of the capital, Kyiv, the funeral of a father and son killed together while defending Bakhmut. Ole and Mikita Kimuik. Ole's brother, Yuri, says, "My brother covered his son with his own body. He did it to protect him from shrapnel." A father's ultimate sacrifice for his son on the front line, as Ukraine braces itself for even more death.
The remains of a Roman aristocrat and 61 other people were unearthed by archaeologists in northern England. The unidentified woman's remains are believed to be more than 1,000 years old. Her skeleton, along with jewelry, was found in a very rare lead-lined coffin at the Hinton Cemetery in the city of Leeds last year. Archaeologists found men, women, and 23 children at the previously unknown archaeological site. Archaeologists hope the 1,600-year-old cemetery could help them understand the important and largely undocumented transition between the fall of the Roman Empire in about 400 BC and the establishment of the later Anglo-Saxon kingdoms. That's a look at some of your biggest headlines from around the world. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. We got another cold one across the 4 states today. MoDOT camera, 7th and Garden Grove, looking back toward the west. We look good so far, but it is quite cold. 7th and Rangeline also looking good, but here's those temperatures, 23 in Joplin right now, well below the average, about 16, 17 degrees below average, but we have a calm wind, unlike yesterday. Even with that light breeze, made it feel a lot colder out there. We are at 20 in Fort Scott and Iola, 23 Yates Center, 28 Neodesha Parsons, 27 Chetopa Miami, and we've got 25 Neosho, 23 Monette, 22 Carthage Lamar, at 21 in Nevada. Now, as we get our day started, one difference between yesterday and today is we're going to have more sunshine this morning. We'll be clear to mostly clear, so maybe a passing cloud or two. We're still cold, don't get me wrong, but we warm up a little quicker. We're into the mid-30s by late morning instead of the upper 20s as we were yesterday. We're looking at highs right around 50 degrees, so still about almost 10 degrees off pace for average, but we'll have plentiful sunshine and calm winds. Again, maybe just a passing cloud or two out there. As we head into this evening, we're looking to be clear And as the sun sets, of course, we'll go from that 50 to 42 pretty quickly down to 38 by 10 and an overnight low of 35. Now that overnight low is again right about where we should be for this time of year. So let's take a look down the road. We go through today. Once again, we're colder. We're still cold, but we're clear. And as we head into our Wednesday, we're going to start to warm up, but we're also going to start to see clouds increase. We're going to be mostly clear, maybe partly cloudy as we get our Wednesday started, and then we'll see more clouds build in across the area. And despite the cloud cover, though, we will begin to warm. In fact, we'll go right at or even slightly above average for our Wednesday. Then we head into Wednesday night, and we stay well above average, those clouds acting as a blanket of sorts. And as we head into Thursday morning, a few stray showers, maybe a rumble of thunder in the morning, but there's this powerful cold front way off to our west. It's going to start moving in as we go through Thursday. As it does, between about noon and 1, we're really going to start to see activity pick up, and you can see activity through the entire four-state area, including some snow out in western Kansas. We'll be dealing with showers and thunderstorms. There's a slight risk of some strong to severe thunderstorms, but that's to our south at this point. As we've mentioned, if that changes, we'll let you know. But right now, any stronger storms should stay to our south. We'll just be dealing with showers and regular old thunderstorms. As we go into the evening and overnight hours, temperatures are going to drop as this cold front passes through. So there is that remote possibility of a brief changeover to a light wintry mix, maybe a few flurries out there, but it shouldn't really add up to much of anything. The only thing that's really going to add up once this cold front comes through is temperatures, and they're actually not going to add up. They're going to subtract, and they're going to subtract significantly as we head into Friday and the upcoming weekend. So let's take a look at that extended forecast. We're going to make it up to 60 tomorrow. The increasing clouds, breezy, thunderstorms Thursday, 58, and we get down to 26 Thursday night. Only 41 for St. Patty's Day, but as you see, we remain sunny heading into the weekend. We just stay cold. 38 on Saturday, only 42 for the first day of spring. And remember, our average temperature is a lot closer to 60 this time of year. First day of spring certainly will not feel like it. Now, as we go into the first week of spring, temperatures start to warm up a bit. We're into the mid-50s Tuesday and Wednesday, maybe some showers each day. And we'll have a possibility of some late thunderstorms Thursday, but temperatures around the lower 60s, so a lot more spring-like in the area as we head toward the end of next week. We'll be back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Joplin's 150th, a celebration like no other.
In the world of competitive sports, there's one considered a cut above the rest, and it's all about fleecing the competition. It involves sheep and some sharp contestants, as Ian Lee shows us.
In a country like New Zealand, where sheep outnumber people 5 to 1, someone was bound to turn it into a competition. It takes sheer tenacity and perseverance if you want to win here. Only the best sheep shearers gather for the annual Golden Shears competition.
You need to be fit, but in your body physically, but you also need to have the mental strength as well to be able to pull you through.
Competitors race to give 8 sheep a close shave. And the skill isn't for the faint of heart, considered by many as the toughest job on the farm.
It's unbelievable the pressure put on your body and the energy levels you use.
The fleece flies as competitors then separate the wool. Kieran Herbert says she learned her shearing skills from some true legends.
You know, some of them are gone now. You know, they're up in the heavens. They were here, they'll be kicking our butts.
They finish by sweeping the floor of the competition and the wool before someone is crowned the sharpest shearer in the land. Ian Lee, CBS News.
Awesome. Sheep shearing competition has taken place in March every year since 1961. And we'll be right back. During the second round of the Players' Championship, Nick Taylor on the 4th hole hits his approach out of the bunker, but the ball rolls off the green and lands in the crevice of a wooden beam to prevent the ball from going into the water. All right. With the ball around a foot below ground level, it would be impossible to hit. After assessing the scenario, the Canadian decided on a drop after calling it unplayable. Now, after the drop, he found the green, but 2-putted for a double bogey. Rough luck. From one chip shot to another, the day to celebrate America's favorite snack food, it's National Potato Chip Day. Beloved snack was created in 1853. It was originally called Saratoga chips. Flavored chips like barbecue were introduced in the 1950s, and today the snack sees sales of more than $15 billion annually worldwide. But National Chip Day, of course, has to compete with National Pie Day.
That's true, and maybe you can have chips and pie today. A great day to stay inside and enjoy both because we've got a really cold start. We're well below average to the tune of about 14 degrees or so, and we are not going to be near average today, but we will be better. We're going to have more sunshine as we go through our morning hours. So yes, we are cold, but we warm up a bit better as we get into the mid-30s by late morning instead of the upper 20s. Now, as we go into our afternoon, we will remain mostly clear through the day. We're looking at a high right around 50 degrees. So again, about almost 10 degrees off of where our normal high should be for this time of year. As we go into this evening, temperatures will tumble back down once the sun sets. So we're at 50 by 6, and then we're down into the 40s and 30s through the evening, down to a low of 35. Now 35, though, is about where we should be for this time of year. It's just, again, the highs haven't been cooperating. They will cooperate for about 2 days. We're up to 60 tomorrow, increasing clouds, breezy, 58 on Thursday with a strong cold front, showers and thunderstorms coming in. We go down to 26 for the low, only 41 on St. Patty's Day. We're going to stay sunny Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 38 Saturday, and only 42 on the first day of spring. And again, keep in mind, our highs should be averaging almost 60 degrees this time of year. We will start to experience spring late in the first week of spring. We start to get into the mid-50s Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe some showers. Looking at some evening storms by next Thursday, but check out that high as we get back into the lower 60s. That's check your forecast. We got another hour of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
A standoff in Herman, Missouri ends in the arrest of a man suspected of shooting 2 Herman police officers, one still in critical condition and one who lost his life.
We're looking pretty good across the area this morning. Clear skies, pretty pleasant, except for those temperatures that are very cold. We'll tell you when it's going to warm up and about those rain chances coming up.
And the American Legion in Joplin wants to remind people to be mindful of how they dispose of tattered and worn flags.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. I'm Tanya Bach.
I'm Chris Warner. Just after 6 o'clock on this Tuesday morning, another cold one across the area. However, it is Pie Day, as we mentioned before, and we want to wish everyone a happy Pie Day as we're looking at a pretty decent one for us, as we're going to be mostly clear through the day, some sunny skies, and highs right around 50 degrees. Right now, it's not that warm yet. We're looking good from the MoDOT camera at 7th and Garden Grove, and from our camera at 7th and Range Line, still good as well. Quite cold though, 21 degrees in Joplin under clear skies. So that's putting us about almost 15 degrees off of average. Across the area, yeah, it's darn cold out there. 19 in Fort Scott, 21 Pittsburgh, Lamar, 27 in Chetopa, Miami. We had 24 Neosho and 20 in Carthage. Now, as we get our morning started, we'll have more sunshine today than we did yesterday, so that will allow us to warm a little bit more as we get into the mid-30s by late morning. Still cold, but a little bit more, and that sunshine will certainly look nice out there. And we're looking to be mostly clear as we go through the day, so that'll allow us to get warmer too. About 50 for the high. Now, that's still about 10 degrees off of average, but it is better than yesterday by almost 10 degrees as well. And of course, without a strong breeze, the sunshine will feel quite nice if you're outside. This evening, down to 50 by 6, and then we'll start to watch temperatures fall once the sun sets. We're going to make it back down to 35, and that is about what our average low this time of year should be. However, we're going to get a little more average over the next couple of days, at least briefly. 60 tomorrow, increasing clouds and breezy, and we're looking at showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon on Thursday, 58. Got a strong cold front coming in, and that's going to kick our temperatures way back down, 26 Thursday night. Only 41 on St. Patrick's Day, but we stay sunny into the weekend. We stay cold though, 38 Saturday, first day of spring, yeah, only 42 degrees. However, we go beyond that and into next week, we see increasing rain and even storm chances, but our temperatures increase as well, and our first week of spring starts to get a little more spring-like. Tanya?
All right, thanks, Chris. A standoff in central Missouri ends with the arrest of a man suspected of shooting 2 police officers. Standoff that began Sunday night ended around 1:30 Monday afternoon in the mid-Missouri town of Herman. Authorities say the suspect, 35-year-old Kenneth Lee Simpson of Eureka, Missouri, had barricaded himself in a home. According to those on the scene, SWAT officers administered tear gas before Simpson walked out of the home with his hands up and was arrested. The shooting happened Sunday night. It began at a Casey's General Store in Herman. Police were called there to investigate a disturbance. Now, authorities believe Simpson shot both officers and then fled in a car. 34-year-old Detective Sergeant Mason Griffith died from his injuries overnight, and 31-year-old Officer Adam Solentrup remains in critical but stable condition. Court records show Simpson has a long criminal history dating back to 2004 with several current pending cases. He's been on the run from authorities since April of last year. American Legion Post 13 in Joplin has an important reminder. Do not throw away tattered and worn flags. It can be considered disrespectful to throw out an old flag. Now, Post 13 has a box you can find on the southwest corner of 8th and Joplin. They set it up as a means to allow for the retirements and respectful disposal of worn-out flags. Markets in Asia this morning had a shaky start with losses following the collapse of 2 U.S. banks. Federal government has stepped in to run those banks while the Biden administration is trying to shore up confidence in the banking system. Jared Hill has more.
It was a wild ride for the markets yesterday after federal regulators took control of California-based Silicon Valley Bank and New York's Signature Bank. Both collapsed between Friday and Monday. The shockwaves caused trading to halt for more than a dozen other regional banks yesterday after their stocks tanked.
Americans can rest assured that our banking system is safe. Your deposits are safe.
President Biden tried to project a message of calm while assuring folks with money in both failed banks their dollars are safe.
Do you have any questions?
FDIC officials greeted customers lined up outside of SVB's headquarters in Santa Clara, some withdrawing everything.
Learned my lesson, and I'm not going to put the money all in one place like I did here.
Silicon Valley Bank had more than $200 billion in assets, many of them tech companies. The CEO and co-founder of Rad AI, a medical technology startup, says the government stepping in will probably save his business.
Not knowing whether or not the company you've spent 5 years building was going to go away overnight as a result of something unpredictable as a collapse of a bank was really hard.
Signature Bank's assets were about half of SVB's. President Biden on Monday said while there's going to be help for folks who put money in the bank, for investors and owners, there will not be a bailout. CBS News has learned Silicon Valley Bank was operating without a chief risk officer for months. One was hired in January. Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
Shareholders of SVB have filed a class action suit accusing the bank of disseminating false or misleading statements. President Biden, meanwhile, said he intends to ask Congress and banking regulators to strengthen the rules for banks to stave off future failures. We'll have more on this banking failure later in the show. Well, the Joplin Humane Society is getting into the Easter spirit. They're hosting their annual treat stuffed Easter egg hunt event for local residents. The Humane Society sells eggs stuffed with treats for pets and kids within a 10-mile radius of the shelter. It's available on Easter weekend, and residents can choose whether they want to be egged on either April 7th or 8th.
It's really a great opportunity for us to do something fun within the community while supporting the shelter financially and helping take care of the thousands of animals we care for each year.
You can pay to have your eggs delivered to your home. 100% of the proceeds will go for the care of the homeless animals at the shelter. You can find pricing of different egg amounts on our KOAM News Now app. That's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, a school district in Alabama installs safe rooms inside some of their classrooms. They say to protect kids from everything from a school shooting to severe weather. Plus, experts say regular screening is the best protection against breast cancer. But what type of mammogram is right for you? And Chris has a complete look at your frosty Tuesday forecast and if spring will bring us some warmer temperatures. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. More real news in the morning. We'll be right back. Topping Nation Watch this morning, a longtime Democratic congresswoman who championed women's rights has died. The family of former U.S. Representative Patricia Schroeder says she died in a hospital in Celebration, Florida, Monday night. According to Schroeder's daughter, her mother passed away due to complications from a stroke. Now, Schroeder was first elected to the U.S. House of Representatives in 1972 and went on to serve in Congress for more than 2 decades. She was one of just 14 women in the House when she was first elected and the first woman to sit on the Armed Services Committee. According to her House biography, she was known as a forceful voice on a number of issues, including women's reproductive rights and arms control. Patricia Schroeder was 82. Authorities have charged 10 more people in a scheme targeting a program that was supposed to help feed children during the pandemic. The U.S. Attorney's Office in Minnesota announced the charges in a news release, which includes conspiracy, wire fraud, money laundering, and bribery. Officials say the defendants participated in a massive scheme to defraud the federal child nutrition program, allegedly stealing $250 million from the Minnesota-based Feeding Our Future nonprofit. According to investigators, the accused misappropriated the funds instead of using them to make sure underserved children received adequate nutrition. The Department of Justice had already charged 47 people in the alleged scheme back in September. Well, U.S. officials are launching a new program aimed to warn organizations that are vulnerable to ransomware attacks. The new program identifies organizations that are exposing vulnerable software on the public internet, a practice that makes hackers' job significantly easier. It's designed to minimize the impact of hacking campaigns that capitalize on commonly used software. And it's the latest in an all-out push by the Biden administration to curb the threat of ransomware, which has crippled hospitals, schools, and cost organizations up to billions of dollars. An Alabama school district is showcasing an additional layer of security they have in place in some of their schools. It's a safe room that has the potential to protect school children from everything from active shooter to severe weather. Valerie Bell reports.
It's that easy. Haley Marquette teaches special education at West Elementary. In less than 10 seconds, she can deploy this safe room inside her classroom.
I like to leave it out. It's more functional for me. I use this for instructional space with writing. My kids love to free draw on this side.
You can see here there's no handle on the outside, so in the event of an emergency, a teacher or administrator is able to close the door and lock it so the students are kept safely inside. An idea sparked after the tragedy in Uvalde, Texas. The goal of the ballistic wall unit is to shield the entire classroom until law enforcement can
do their job. Then we open the door, we go home. That's the key. We get to go home. Everybody wants their loved ones to come home.
Another threat the walls can help with: severe weather.
It's my expectation the schools keep their children safe. It is a priority in all of our schools. If it's access entry to buildings, if it's cameras, if it's school resource officers, which we're fortunate to have all of those.
The conversation with lawmakers is already happening as education leaders look for ways to put this type of protection in other classrooms, in other schools, and in other cities across the state.
Every campus is different. They have multiple entrances. Some are right on the street, some are out in the country. Sometimes there's a police officer on duty, sometimes there's a deputy sheriff 20 or 30 minutes away. So there's no one-size-fits-all solution.
As for Mrs. Marquette's classroom,
it's been really good so far. The kids love it. And that's the most important thing, is making it a safe space for them.
Rapid deploy safe rooms currently cost just under $60,000 each. And that's a look at some of today's top national stories. Here's Chris with a look at your forecast.
Yeah, we got ourselves another cold start across the region. It doesn't look like it, but it is frigid outside, almost 15 degrees cooler than where we should be this time of year. We'll take a look at your full forecast and that brief warm-up when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 6:17 on this Cold Tuesday morning. Time for a little weather trivia first. After a volcanic eruption, a colored ring of dust particles can sometimes be seen around the sun. What is that ring called? Is it a queen ring, a knight ring, a bishop ring, or a pawn ring? While you think about that, let's take a look at our forecast. 7th at Range Line. It is clear, but it is cold, and we of course want to wish everyone a happy Pi Day, as today is 3/14, and we're looking decent. Still chilly, but not bad. Mostly clear skies. 50 degrees is for the high today. We'll take a look at that full forecast here in just a moment. First, 7th and Garden Grove, MoDOT camera there. Looks good so far, but again, it is cold out there. How cold is it? Well, this box tells us it's 21 in Joplin, so bitterly cold. We're talking about 19 degrees off pace or so, 14 degrees off pace for the average. So here we are, 19 in Fort Scott, 21 Pittsburgh and Lamar, 27 Parsons, Chitopa, Miami, 24 Neosho, and 20 as we get the day underway in Carthage. As we go through today, the key difference between yesterday and today is more sunshine. So we will have clear to mostly clear skies, and that'll allow us to get into the mid-30s by late morning instead of the upper 20s. So I'm not crazy. I know that's still cold, but it's a little bit better than yesterday, and our highs today a little bit better than yesterday as well, as we'll go through the day with those clear skies, looking to reach a high right around 50 degrees, so still below average, but much better than what we managed to see yesterday. And we'll hold on to clear skies as we go through the overnight as well, and once that sun sets, temperatures fall pretty quickly, and we'll make it back down to a very cold 35 degrees. Better than now, though, and right about where we should be for this time of year as well. So on the future track, we get through today, we are clear, we're looking pretty good. As we head into tomorrow morning, we'll see mostly clear to partly cloudy skies across the area, and those clouds will continue to increase throughout the day. But the good news is our temperatures also continue to increase throughout the day. And as we head into Thursday morning, we're going to start to see a few showers, maybe a rumble of thunder in the morning, but the big activity starts between about, say, 11 and 1. We'll see that cold front set off showers and thunderstorms across the region. There's some strong to severe storms, but that threat is to our south at this point. Should that change, we'll let you know, of course. As the day progresses, we'll hold on to showers and thunderstorms heading into the evening, and as temperatures drop, depending on how quickly they drop with this cold front, we could see a brief transition to maybe some light snow, a light wintry mix, but shouldn't add up to much of anything. The biggest thing that's going to be noticed is a significant temperature drop as we're going to get cold yet again. Quickly, back to our trivia question. In terms of that volcanic eruption, that ring of dust particles, what is that ring called? Well, if you happen to guess C, a bishop's ring, you would be correct. A bishop's ring is a ring of dust particles in the air that surrounds the sun and gives off a colored hue. So that's what that's called. Now we've all learned something today. All right. 60 tomorrow, increasing clouds and breezy. Showers and thunderstorms Thursday, 58. Cold front kicks us down to 26 for a low. St. Patrick's Day, sunny, but only 41 for the high. 38 Saturday, but at least still sunny. Sunny for the first day of spring, but about 20 degrees off of where we should be as the high is only 42. We're going to stay cool as we kick off the first week of spring, but then spring will begin to arrive, and unfortunately, we're going to get those spring showers as well. We're into the mid-50s Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe some showers, possibly some evening thunderstorms by next Thursday, but check out that high as we make it into the lower 60s. That's Check Your Forecast. We'll be back with more right after this.
Your lives.
Topping Health Watch this morning, child and adolescent death rates rose 20% between 2019 and 2021, the largest jump in at least 50 years, and that's according to an editorial in the Journal of the American Medical Association. That's despite decades of progress against childhood diseases. Driving the spike, deaths from homicide, suicide, accidental drug overdoses, and car accidents. Well, if you roll up your sleeve, you may want to turn down the bed. A study in the Current Biology found more sleep could help your body respond to vaccination. Researchers found people who slept fewer than 6 hours per night produced significantly fewer antibodies than those who clocked 7 or more hours of shut-eye. And a diet rich in plant-based foods and healthy fats may be good for your brain. British researchers found that people who ate a Mediterranean-like diet had up to 23% lower risk for dementia than those who did not. Breast cancer remains the leading cause of cancer death among women. Regular screening is the best bet for early detection. Bradley Blackburn has new information on which form of mammography is most reliable.
Researchers tracked more than 1 million women to study which mammograms had the most reliable results. They found the more advanced technology is the best at flagging signs of breast cancer. The study, published in the journal Radiology, compared 2 types of digital mammography: 2-dimensional, which is the standard of care at many testing sites, and the more advanced 3-dimensional, seen on the right, which captures multiple X-ray images of the breast from different angles. Results showed a higher rate of cancer detection from the 3D screenings, as well as a lower rate of false positives. And researchers say the technology is especially beneficial for women with dense breast tissue, which makes tumors more difficult to spot. Breast cancer is the most common cancer among women in the U.S., and early detection is critical. The American Cancer Society says the 5-year survival rate is 99% for cancer detected before it is spread outside the breast, what's known as a localized state. Researchers suggest women look for testing sites that offer 3D scans, saying the most advanced technology could be the best weapon against cancer. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
That's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
And we've got ourselves a very cold start across the area, 21 in Joplin, but we've got clear skies out there. So again, cold across the region. We're talking 19 Fort Scott, 25 Chanute, 27 Chautauqua, Miami, 24 Neosho. We're sitting at 20 in Carthage. And as we get our day started, we'll see more sunshine today. We're going to be clear to mostly clear. And even though we're still cold, we're a bit warmer this morning as we get into the mid-30s by late morning. As we head into the afternoon, our highs still below average, unfortunately, but warmer than yesterday. We're looking at highs right around 50 degrees. We'll see a lot of sunshine, and with calm winds, if you're out in the sun, it should feel a little bit warmer for you. As we head into this evening, we are going to see the nice temperatures go away once the sun sets, and we'll start to cool off quickly. 42 by 8, 38 by 10, and we're looking at an overnight low of 35 degrees under those mostly clear skies. And the good news is, at least, that 35 is about where we should be for this time of year. We still got some rain chances and warmer weather on the way, albeit briefly. We'll talk about all of that when the KOAM Morning News returns.
And jumping on America's game.
Right now at 6:30, when tragedy strikes one Missouri school, the students find a way to deal with the grief and honor the life lost.
We got clear skies. We look decent out there, but unfortunately, it is still very cold. But there's some warmer weather on the way and some rain. We'll talk about all that coming up.
And today is Pie Day. The Joplin Humane Society calculates a tasty way to celebrate and inspire some pet adoptions.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6:28. I'm Tanya Bach.
I'm Chris Warner. So it is cold across the area, but as you mentioned, it is Pie Day, and we do want to wish everybody a happy Pie Day. And after we do some quick calculating, we figure out that we're looking at an okay day today. We'll be mostly sunny, and we're looking at a high right around 50 degrees. And we'll take a look at that full forecast for today in just a moment. First, a look at the MoDOT camera at 7th and Garden Grove, looking back to the west. We look good. The problem is the temperatures are not complying as we're quite cold. Sitting at 21 in Joplin right now under those clear skies. Across the area, some of us even colder than that right now. We're at 19 in Fort Scott, 21 Pittsburgh, Lamar, Iola, 27 in Parsons, Chautauqua, and Miami, and 24 in Neosho. And as we get our morning started, we'll see more sunshine today, be clear to mostly clear, and that'll allow us all to be at cold still. Will warm up into the mid-30s by late morning, and that also means that today is going to be a pinch warmer than yesterday, as we're looking at highs, as mentioned, right around 50 degrees, and we'll have those sunny skies out there and a calm wind. That's going to make it, at least if you're out in the sun, feel pretty decent at least. And tonight, we get cold again, but that 35 is right about where we should be, and we'll hold on to those clear skies as we go into the evening. Now, we're still watching the showers and thunderstorms as we head into our Thursday. Ahead of that, we're going to be 60 on Wednesday, windy, clouds will begin to increase through the day. Strong cold front Thursday brings us showers and thunderstorms in the late morning and afternoon and evening hours. 58 for the high, and then it drops our temperatures down to 26 for the low. Only 41 on St. Patrick's Day, but sunny through Sunday, and 42 on the first day of spring, so not spring-like at all. And we'll start to actually see spring temperatures as we head toward the end of next week with some showers Tuesday and Wednesday, and maybe some late evening storms Thursday, highs reaching into the lower 60s. Tanya?
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, students at a Missouri high school are reeling from the death of a classmate last week. London White was a basketball player, and when his team competed in a playoff game this weekend, they honored his memory. Michael Hoffman reports on the special game.
I can't imagine what they're going through.
In seats normally filled with maroon, you could see a sea of purple. The change in color for London White. He died this week.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what we were going to do. We needed the blessing from the family, and they were here today and supporting us.
His teammates had a playoff game scheduled in Springfield. They could have sat this one out, but London's family encouraged them to go forward.
Now, Salisbury is still reeling from the loss of their teammate London earlier this week. Hartford decided that even though they are going head-to-head tonight, they wanted to do something special before the game.
The two head coaches talked before the game about a joint prayer in the middle of the court. But Coach Reed with Hartville and his squad decided they wanted to do something more.
We wanted to pay tribute to him and his family and those players over there and the coaching staff, and this is the only thing that we really thought of that we could do in this environment. So, you know, we're sorry. Our hearts hurt for them, and that's why.
Hartville, usually donned in blue and white, instead wore a bright, eye-catching violet, Salisbury's colors. The shirts with the words Salisbury Strong on the back. A surprise for everyone on the grief-stricken team.
That was a really great gesture.
The Salisbury players, however, with the weight of the death of a friend, teammate, and brother, pushed ahead and won the game.
We were a family, and just sticking with each other, and like tonight, playing our game, never giving up on each other, just always staying with each other.
White wore number 20, and then his team scored 20 points in the final quarter to win the game. Details of his death are unknown. A Southeast Kansas school improves its mental health services offered to students. The Columbus Public School District teams up with the Community Health Center of Southeast Kansas to bring medical and behavioral health services to students and faculty in their schools. Now, the partnership has led to the establishment of school-based clinics, which provides convenient access to healthcare services for students and faculty.
We want to meet them where they are, even in their healthcare needs. And so we know that for them to learn, you have to be healthy. And in addition to that, one of the side benefits is assisting families who are busy with work. And if we can provide any kind of that healthcare support within the school day, then that helps the families not have to take time off from work.
Starting this fall, the Community Health Center will have 10 medical clinics in schools in Southeast Kansas and Oklahoma. Well, today is National Pie Day, 3/14, and the Joplin Humane Society wants to take part. So they've teamed up with Papa Murphy's for a special promotion. Starting today, going through Sunday, all big dogs and adult cats will have a $14 adoption fee. Also, adopting one of the first 50 pets through this promotion will get you a free one-topping pizza from Papa Murphy's. But that's not the only promotion they have today.
So we're trying to get some awareness out there that we are in need of the dry, crunchy dog food. And that's where, that's where it kind of stemmed from. So getting the word out there that we're needing it.
All right, so if you bring in a sack of dog food, you get a slice of pie, and the dog food drive will last from 1 to 5 p.m. today. Well, this morning we're discussing gambling, and in this case, sports betting.
Well, online sports betting has been around since the 90s. Mobile sports betting is a 21st century phenomenon, and it has exploded in popularity thanks in part to established websites like DraftKings. But despite its popularity, not all states allow sports betting.
Right here in the 4 states, for example, Arkansas has allowed sports betting since 2021. In Kansas, sports betting became legal less than a year ago. Missouri and Oklahoma, on the other hand, are still pushing efforts to legalize sports betting in their respective states.
But because of the legal lines drawn from state to state, we're asking a more general question for you today. Do you like to gamble? Yes or no? Not much change since this morning. 64% of you say you do not. 36% of you say that you do. Make sure you take time to vote through our website, through the app, and of course take part in discussion on our Facebook page.
Remember, buying a lottery ticket is gambling too.
Yeah, it is. It is indeed.
For sure. All right, that's a look at our top news stories. Coming up this half hour in the KOAM Morning News, it's a strong job market, near record low in unemployment, and strong consumer spending in the country right now. So why has the Federal Reserve raised interest rates again and again? We've got your answers.
And it's another cold start for us across the 4 states, but there's at least a brief warm-up on the way. We'll talk about that forecast when we come back.
Plumbing and electric.
In Consumer Watch this morning, Silicon Valley Bank customers in California line up Monday to withdraw their money days after the bank's collapse. Over the weekend, regulators also seized control of Signature Bank in New York. Now, the Biden administration announced it will protect depositors at both banks, but not investors and executives. President Biden says no taxpayer dollars would be put at risk as he tried to assure the American people the banking system is safe, but regional bank stocks still took a beating on Wall Street yesterday. Well, today is Equal Pay Day, a date that the U.S. marks to symbolize how far into the year the average woman must work in order to have earned what the average man had earned the entire previous year. According to the American Association of University Women, full-time women workers make 84% of what men with full-time jobs are paid on average. That gap is even greater for women of color. And Buffalo Wild Wings fired off a sassy comeback on Twitter after a Chicago man filed a lawsuit over the weekend claiming the company's boneless wings are not wings at all. The man is accusing Buffalo Wild Wings of false advertising and calling on the company to rename the product or indicate that the product is actually breast meat on the menu. Buffalo Wild Wings tweeted in response, "It's true, our boneless wings are all white meat chicken, but our hamburgers contain no ham, and buffalo wings are 0% buffalo." You go, Buffalo Wild Wings. Well, near record low unemployment rate, a strong job market, and consumer spending off the top, these sound like great things, right? So why does it make economists and the Federal Reserve nervous, causing them to raise interest rates to slow down the economy? At what point will the Fed be happy and let their foot off the brakes? Gloria Pazmino speaks with an expert for all the answers.
As the U.S. unemployment level has hovered around record lows, ticking up to 3.6% for February, it's been causing inflation to skyrocket.
The tighter the job market, the stronger the pressure on employers to boost wages and lift their own production costs.
And causing the U.S. Federal Reserve to raise interest rates to try and tamp it down. Gary Burtless, a senior fellow in economic studies at the Brookings Institution, says over the past few months, there has only been around one unemployed worker for every 2 jobs available, intensifying inflation more rapidly than we are used to.
That is why the good news about unemployment and new increases in the number of people who are employed will result in pressure on the Fed to slow down the economy and reduce price pressures, wage pressures that tend to be contributing to inflation in the economy.
So when will the Fed be happy and take their foot off the brake? Burtless says the sweet spot is around 5% unemployment and 2% inflation. In New York, I'm Gloria Pazmino.
That's it for Consumer Watch. Here's Chris with another look at your forecast.
Yeah, we got a very cold start for us across the area. We're going to be cold through the morning, but more sunshine than yesterday, so we warm up a bit more as we go into the mid-30s by late morning. As we head into this afternoon, we're looking at highs right around 50, so still below average for us, but better than yesterday. Mostly sunny skies, a calm wind. It's going to be a pretty decent day, just a bit on the chilly side. Tonight, once the sun sets, temperatures drop, of course, mostly clear skies down to 35 for our overnight low. We do start to warm up as we head into tomorrow. We're up to 60. We'll see more clouds and windy conditions. Strong cold front Thursday, 58. Thunderstorms in the late morning and through the evening hours. That drops our lows, though, down to 26. Only 41 for St. Patrick's Day. We remain clear all the way through Sunday, first day of spring. 38 Saturday, only 42 on the first day of spring. But the good news is spring will eventually get here by late next week. So we get in the mid-50s, lower 60s with some showers and maybe some evening thunderstorms on Thursday. So spring will get here. Just a few more days to get to those nice temperatures. Well, birthdays and anniversaries are on the way to celebrate this chilly Tuesday morning. But before we do that, why don't we check out what's happening on CBS Mornings?
I'm Nate Burleson. Coming up on CBS Mornings, Oprah reveals her 100th book club selection, and she'll be here with the author to talk about it. That's coming up on CBS Mornings.
Welcome back. Time for some Tuesday birthdays across the 4 states. We are beginning in Jasper with Gatlin Hill, celebrating birthday number 5. Says happy birthday for Mom, Dad, Bridget, and the rest of the family.
Brinley Norfelice is 7 strong this year. This pretty girl is in Carl Junction, Missouri with love coming from Grammy.
And we've got Ivy Forbes celebrating birthday number 8 in Quapaw. Happy birthday, Ivy.
All right, that's quite a Sunday there. I like it. Deacon Tinsley celebrating birthday number 8 this year in Fort Scott.
And Tayton Pike celebrating birthday number 11 in Nevada. Happy birthday, Tayton.
In Fredonia, Logan Barnhart celebrating birthday number 13 this year.
And we've got Kate Holsinger celebrating birthday number 18 in Columbus and says, love you more than ever. Happy birthday, Kate.
All right. Kylie Carnes turning 23 years old this year in Carl Junction. Looks like she's a golfer there. Make this your day with love from Steve and Darlene.
And Ryan Kester celebrating birthday number 25 in Chanute. Happy birthday, Ryan.
Also in Chanute, Morgan Dewey celebrating the big 4-0 today. Happy birthday, Morgan.
And Aaron Hensley celebrating birthday number 42. Happy birthday, Aaron.
Byron Austin. Byron is 49 years old this year in Joplin.
And Mike Lawrence celebrating birthday number 55 in Joplin. Happy birthday, Mike.
All right, in Pittsburgh, Alicia Norris. Happy birthday to you.
And Moria Gaithier celebrating a birthday in Fort Scott. Says happy birthday, love, coming from your family.
All right, in Oswego, Kansas, Eric and Heather Blundell are celebrating their 19th anniversary.
And Rory and Lisa Chaplin also celebrating anniversary number 19 over in Fort Scott.
All right, Larry Sands in Erie, Kansas. Hope you have a wonderful birthday.
And Becca Sandberg celebrating a birthday in Pittsburgh. Happy birthday.
Jeff and Melissa York are celebrating their 42nd anniversary this year. They're our neighbors in Lawton, Kansas.
All right, we love celebrating with you like we tell you every morning, and we want you to celebrate with us as well. Tanya knows where you need to send those celebrations so you can join in on the fun.
It's a simple email. Don't forget the S on it, though. Birthdays with an S at KOAMnewsnow.com. Make sure you send your picture, include the name, the day of the birthday, and any other information you'd like us to have.
And of course, when you're on our website checking out all the cool stuff it's got, you can take time to sign up for the KOAM Birthday Club. You get special deals from local businesses. You also get a birthday message from your friends here at KOAM. So just head over to KOAMnewsnow.com and sign up for that birthday club today. All right, we've got ourselves a very cold start across the area. MoDOT camera, 7th and Garden Grove, looking back to the west. Looks good so far. Traffic moving, that's always a good thing. What it doesn't tell us is that it's cold, but this box does. That's what I love about the magic of this box. Unfortunately, it just is not giving us good news. I'll see if I can straighten it out this week. 21 is where we are in Joplin right now. Calm winds there. We've got cold temperatures across the area. 20, Fort Scott, Iola, Nevada, and Carthage. 21 in Lamar. Also 20 in Pittsburgh, 27 Parsons, Chatopa, Miami, 24 Neosho, and we're sitting at 23 in Monette. Now, as we get our day started, we're going to have a bit more sunshine, in fact, a lot more sunshine than we did yesterday. We're going to be clear to mostly clear out there, so even though it's still cold, we warm up a little more quickly today into the mid-30s by late morning for our afternoon, because we're going to continue to have plentiful sunshine across the area and some calm winds out there. We'll warm up. Still not where we should be, but that is a lot better than yesterday. It's a bit chilly, but we're looking at highs right around 50 degrees. As we go into the evening, we'll lose this nice warm weather, unfortunately, but we stay clear, and the good news is we don't get as cold. We're only down to 35, and 35 is right about where we should be for this time of year. Taking a look at the future tracks. We go through today, it's clear, it's chilly, but it's nice otherwise. Tomorrow morning, we're mostly clear to partly cloudy. Then we'll start to see more clouds as the day progresses, but as the clouds increase, our temperatures do so as well. We head into early Thursday morning, looking at a few stray showers, maybe a rumble of thunder, and then as this strong cold front gets closer, it sets off more widespread shower and thunderstorm activity across the region. There's a threat for some strong to severe storms to our south, and it should stay there, but if that changes, we'll let you know. We're just dealing with some showers and general thunderstorms across the area. Now, depending on how quickly temperatures drop behind this front as we go into Thursday evening and overnight, there's the possibility we could see a brief transition to maybe a very light wintry mix, but it shouldn't add up to much of anything. The only thing that we're really going to notice is that the temperatures are going to plummet back behind this front, unfortunately. All right, so we're up to 60 tomorrow, increasing clouds, breezy, so enjoy the calm winds today. Showers, thunderstorms Thursday, 58, so still nice, right about where we should be. Then we're down to 26 Thursday night. We'll only make it up to 41 for St. Patrick's Day, but we'll stay sunny through the weekend. 38 on Saturday, the day before spring kicks off, and only 42 on the first day of spring. Not very spring-like at all, but the good news is spring does arrive. It just arrives a little bit late for us. We're 49 Monday. Seeing some shower chances Tuesday and Wednesday. We get up into the mid-50s. Our overnights are still a bit on the cold side. And then by the time we get Wednesday into Thursday, we're a lot more normal. 63 Thursday and maybe some evening thunderstorms across the area. So spring will get here. It's just going to be here a couple of days late. Well, coming up when the KOAM Morning News switches over to Fox 14, KOAM's Carrie Worthen takes us on a trip to the Green Bush Educational Service Center in Girard, where they're lending a helping hand to parents during spring break. We've got all that and a lot more coming up over on Fox 14 at 7 a.m.
State Hero.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. A standoff in central Missouri ends with the arrest of a man suspected of shooting 2 police officers. The standoff that began Sunday night ended around 1:30 Monday afternoon in the mid-Missouri town of Herman. Authorities say the suspect had barricaded himself in a home. According to those on the scene, SWAT officers administered tear gas before Kenneth Lee Simpson walked out of the home with his hands up and was arrested. American Legion Post 13 in Joplin has an important reminder. Do not throw away tattered and worn flags. It can be considered disrespectful to throw out an old flag. Post 13 has a box you can find on the southwest corner of 8th and Joplin. They set it up as means to allow for the retirements and respectful disposal of worn out flags. City of Girard, Kansas looks for a sanitation service for the city. The city council met last night to work on a resolution that would allow them to look into contracting a service to work for the city. Right now, residents can pay for private trash services, but the city does not offer its own. The council will host an open forum about the resolution on the 27th. And today is National Pie Day. 314 and the Joplin Humane Society wants to take part, so they've teamed up with Papa Murphy's for a special promotion starting today, going through Sunday. All big dogs and adult cats will have a $14 adoption fee. Also adopting one of the first 50 pets through this promotion will get you a free pizza from Papa Murphy's, and that's not the only promotion they have today. From 1 to 5 p.m., if you donate a bag of dry dog food, you get a free slice of pie. And that's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
And as you head out the door, it is a cold one, but we will be a little bit warmer, still below average. Highs pushing right around 50. A calm wind, mostly clear skies. We'll hang on to those clear skies as we head into our evening hours. Once the sun sets, though, temperatures, of course, begin to set as well. But the good news is not nearly as cold tonight. Dropping back to 35 for our low, which is about average for this time of year. We start to warm up tomorrow with increasing clouds and winds up to 60. 58 on Thursday with some showers and thunderstorms with a strong cold front. Knocks us down to 26. Only 41 St. Patty's Day, but we stay sunny through the weekend. 42 for the first day of spring and 49 by next Monday. The good news is spring will arrive next week. It's just going to be a couple of days late.
All right. Well, I wish it would get here sooner.
I certainly do as well.
All right, well, coming up today at noon, we are making lemon chess pie in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
And your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings. A CBS investigation into how the military handles veterans who were discharged because they are gay or lesbian has found that many are still fighting to regain their honor. Coming up on CBS Mornings, Jim Axelrod speaks to one veteran who has fought for years to have her less than honorable discharge amended.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. And this morning, we've got a visit from the SEK Humane Society. who's going to tell us about some upcoming events, from a bake sale to a St. Patrick's Day event to a request to egg my yard. We'll explain.
I could do that for free. But this is a different kind of egging we're talking about.
You need to stop doing that.
Well, eggs, they cost so much. I've increased the value of your home, honestly. We've also got Charlene Patton from the Kansas Soybean Commission with something special for St. Patrick's Day as well. That is going to wrap it up for us for today. We will do this again tomorrow morning starting at 5 a.m.
And we're going to do it again today at noon.